Good morning or good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our talk. I'm very glad to see you here today. I'm very glad that I took you away from your business to come and listen to some exceptional speakers. We're going to talk about a topic that is particularly dear to us, that is getting to know all what is around our industry that makes use of physical and virtual platforms. The group of young people of Federpreziosi, coordinated by Vincenzo, Aucella, an extremely dynamic president, has insisted on this meeting to take place. I always tell him, you're always ahead, and you manage to see the future one day ahead. This is why he persuaded us to join him on this journey. So what do you want to tell us? I mean, this group of young people, my dear Vincenzo, you're doing very well. We got Simone, Lorenzo here with us, and I know that they followed your desires and all what had emerged in the numerous exchanges we had with our young people, our future. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you very much for inviting me here. Thank you very much to President Aquilino for having the idea to organize a group of young people. This topic is strictly related to the very interesting talk that we have just listened to. We strongly believe, and we've seen that also in the data presented by Mesa Ascani, so we believe that in the world of jewelry, what is fundamental for retail is the jeweler. So the physical point of sale is still paramount, and we represent here Federpreziosi, and we share the data that they have presented. So the jeweler is still the reference for consumers buying jewels and watches. So starting from this premise, that is, the physical store is the basis, the jeweler has experience, has knowledge, can provide all the information, and our group of young people, also following the meeting we held here in September, tackles topics that can be put in our toolkit, as Mr. Tranquilli likes to say. So we have analyzed an opportunity. We have asked ourselves, can a platform like Amazon truly be an opportunity for the world of jewelry? And we're going to analyze this together with two individuals, two experts in their own field. People working, or one expert working with Amazon, albeit in other industries, but specialized in the possible approach for companies like ours who have never made any sort of experience with this channel, and those who already use it and can report their experience. So I'm not telling you, you must be on Amazon. We want to analyze whether it is an opportunity or not. Because before the pandemic, very often we used to view Amazon and the platforms as the enemy. And we kept saying, there is a salesperson behind Amazon, maybe another retailer who is exploiting that opportunity and selling through Amazon. So it is not Mr. Amazon buying jewels and selling them. There's always a retailer on the other hand. And I would like to conclude by saying that the purpose of this meeting is to analyze and understand whether it is worth using Amazon for our activities. I like the title that you chose for this meeting. Selling on Amazon, is it worthwhile? And Lorenzo is going to take us throughout this itinerary. We are part of the large family, Confcommercio, and it is thanks to Fabio Fulvio, who's a reference in our sector. Well, one day he called us and said, well, this gentleman is somebody you should listen to. In one of his researches carried out through his agency, he identified peculiarities for our industry. And I believe that the Federation has to hunt for opportunities to develop our business and analyzing all possible ways to see which direction they bring you to. Knowing the market means knowing yourself and understand how we're going to evolve. Well, my dear Lorenzo Farina, we're all eager to listen to you and to see whether the game is truly worth the candle. Thank you. I am the owner of the walk-in agency that has created the brand Epizone, because Amazon has been an event that has literally flooded us, and very often companies wanting to work with Amazon did not manage to do that. So they involved us, our agency, to help them enter this world, which is much more complex than you may think. And this is why we founded Epizone. I will try to be very, very brief so that we have time for some questions. Let's try to see whether it is worthwhile selling for Amazon your products. We have never worked with jewels, so we do not have experience with the industry, but we know Amazon very well, and in many different sectors. So this is a very young market. It was born in '94 in the United States. So we're talking about a very short time that made Amazon the #1 retailer in the world in 180 countries, 235 million products in the catalog. Our supermarket, or the largest Italian store, has on average 30,000 articles on sale. We have more than 300,000 registered users, with 40% of people buying without being registered. We're really talking big numbers. Is this an opportunity or not? We will try to find out together. Let me stress one point that Vincenzo just mentioned, which is very, very important. Many claim Amazon is my competitor. Forget about this. This is not true. Amazon sells a small share of products on their platform. All those who sell through Amazon are retailers, so your competitor is not Amazon. Your competitor is another retailer who's making use of this channel. And we will see this also for jewels and watches. I mean, it is your competitors who work with the Amazon channel. So the true threat is what our competitors, I say our because I already feel part of Federpreziosi, so actors who have also opted for Amazon as well. Amazon is never exclusive. It's an alternative channel in the roster of offers that you can provide your customers with. Of course, I'm trying to give you a positive view of Amazon. Amazon has got some barriers and hindrances, of course, but it is also a huge opportunity. It reaches a very wide audience. There's a huge difference between buying on Amazon and buying anywhere else. That is, when you enter in Amazon, it is because you want to buy something. That's the #1 distinction we must make. Pierluigi was saying before that there are many different profiles of users. Well, generally, the Amazon entering on, the customer going on Amazon buys something, maybe not exactly what they wanted to buy, but if you go on Amazon, in 98% of cases, you buy something. And then, of course, Amazon allows you to explode your catalog. You can present everything. What you got in your pocket right now, what you're going to make on demand.
E strano a dirsi. Well, although it may sound strange, Amazon is the best place where to build reputation. Well, everybody thinks that Amazon is a place where you go to know your brands, and there is a way of being known, which is a very special one, and I will tell you about. Now, if I put myself in the shoes of a seller, well, one could say, I want my business to grow. What are the opportunities? Well, in general, one might say, well, I have to increase my activity with other initiatives. Well, to open up a sort of a subsidiary in Amazon, on Amazon, is one of the alternatives that I would consider if I were a jeweler. Why so? Because you can open a shop with a very low business risk. So in the worst case, you will not sell anything, but you will not have made an important investment. And then in your sector, in the jewelry sector, the investment to open a shop is higher than for an apparel or a fashion shop. So that's a good opportunity. And then there are some advantages because to open a shop on Amazon is like opening a shop in the city center of every city in Italy. It's as if you were everywhere because when a potential customer is in a small village and goes to Amazon and comes to your shop, you will be at the city center of that small village. So you will be present in all cities in the world, and you will be in the best possible location. That's very interesting. Well, think about our Italian cities on Saturday afternoon when there are a lot of people walking around the city center. Well, you are in the best location for that walk in the city center, for that window shopping, as we like to call it. So when a person goes to Amazon, it's like having a sort of a window shopping only to your shop. So the location is a triple A. Now, as I said earlier, to open a point of sale on Amazon means to invest very little at the beginning, almost nothing as compared to a physical investment, an investment for a physical place. So reduction of business risk. And then another interesting is that it's very fast. It's a very fast operation. Stephen said that he thinks today of what will happen tomorrow. Well, this is what Amazon does. You can be present on the market. Do you make a decision now? Well, you can decide now and start to work tomorrow. It's not like buying a shop, restructuring a shop. Well, you understand what I mean. And then it's also an optimization of logistics because you can have a wider storage than your physical warehouse. And that's very good if you think of the cost of logistics now. And then the other point is that you can really decide how to enhance your product as you want. So many opportunities. I'll mention another one. You can start to sell here in the small village, but there is also a small village also in the American West, Middle East or Middle West, and you can sell your jewels also in American Middle West. So consider that we take a client with our app, which is called Appy Zone. He starts to work in Italy, and in a 6 month period, he will expand also in other countries. In just 1.5 years, there will be a passage from one country to 12 countries. And I'm speaking about big markets. Think about going to Amazon USA. We're speaking about 350 million potential buyers. And by the way, Pierluigi earlier spoke about the fact that the online market is still growing. And I can assure you that there are countries which are much more advanced. Well, when Fabio called me the first time, he asked me, do you sell jewels on Amazon? Well, I didn't know the answer, and I investigated, and I discovered that every month in Italy there are 370,000 researches every month on Amazon. So think about the central lane in a city where there are all the shops. That means that every month there are 370,000 people who walk around and who do window shopping. And they do not walk just for the sake of walking, but they walk there because they want to buy things. And then so there are 370,000 researchers in the sector which is closest to yours. So the category as a whole accounts for 4 million visitors every year. That includes also nearby or similar sectors. So now, how do you sell on Amazon? Well, buying on Amazon is very easy, and their slogan is one click, one purchase. But to sell is a bit more complex. And that's why at a certain point customers called us because they didn't know how to do it. Now, to sell on Amazon and make a profit is a bit more difficult. Above all, because the instruments available are very numerous. It's not easy to understand what type of instruments to use. And then the support given by Amazon to sellers is very limited. Amazon talks with agencies like ours, but is not so much interested in sellers, single sellers. Well, we have Simone here, who is an expert in the platform. Well, so there are some difficulties. You need continuous work. So, like in all professions, you need to be good at doing things. Now, the 3 pillars, if you want to have an Amazon account, are these ones. First, the account. You will have an account as a seller, and the back end of this account is not so easy to manage because Amazon poses a lot of constraints, which I'm not going to list because it is a bit boring, but you have to manage all those constraints. Every product has to have its own product sheet, and there is also this so-called A+ sheet or form. You have to be included in the search of keywords of Amazon. It's like it's sort of a browser like Google, but it is specific of Amazon. So that is a pretty difficult part to manage. And then there is logistics. So it's online sales, as we said. So order, you have to process it with a specific time frame and specific procedures. And then Most customers call me because they say, well, I opened an account on Amazon, but I sell nothing.
Well, the rules of the game are quite clear on Amazon. Unlike the physical store, let's take the shopping street where you're at your store, people are walking by, they see the shop windows, they're interested in the product, and they come inside. But unless you show yourself on Amazon, nobody's going to see you. So if you digit anything, looking for something on Amazon, usually people do not even go to the second page. It is worse than Google. The first page, full stop. People stop searching, stop navigating. So either you're in the first page or you're nobody. And the only way to be in the first page is regularly investing money to be in the first page. Otherwise, it's like being in a street where nobody goes by, nobody sees you. This investment is very, very small compared to any classical offline advertisement. They're extremely accessible, so we're talking about an average visibility. The investment on Amazon is about €1,000 per month. But you're going to be there every single day. €1,000 a month, with a big difference compared to traditional advertisement investments, and we manage traditional advertising as well with our agency. But with Amazon, you can trace the return of every euro you pay. On average, if you invest €1,000, you usually get €4,000 back. That's the ratio in general terms. But of course, this ratio can be higher if you're very good at managing the machinery. But on average, that's a return enjoyed by our customers. So those are the three pillars you have to manage if you want to work with Amazon. So we are Amazon partners because Amazon is incredibly friendly for the buyer, but incredibly unfriendly for the seller. So there is a network of agencies that are Amazon partners interfacing with Amazon and safeguarding the interest of sellers. So this is what we do more or less. So we've got people dedicated in our agency exclusively to this job, because it is a job. We provide our customers with plans, programs that are operational programs to manage the store. It can be via a subscription, so you pay a fixed price and the agency is going to manage your shop for you. Or it can be based on a percentage. That is, the agency earns money only if you sell. So you just have to invest on the advertising, we manage the account, and make money only if you sell something. Or again, we've got the drop shipping system. I don't know if you ever heard of that. Which means we manage the sale directly. So we buy the product on a wholesale basis and then we sell it and pay the customer back. So these are the three modalities. What about the results? So here you can see two categories. We work in every possible sector. Let's think about fragrance, a room fragrance, talking about very expensive products where the starting price is above €100 for a fragrance for the environment, so more or less a plus 350%. Artisanal products, this is a pretty new category. Everybody thought you're never going to be able to sell artisanal products on Amazon. Quite the contrary, you can see that the turnover increases significantly. So on average, as I told you before, you will get back 4 times as much as you have invested. Right, I've tried to be very concise to give some time for possible questions. Yes, Lorenzo, thank you very much. You've been very, very concise and fast. And thank you for your exhaustive presentation. So I like to remember also what the Italian Foreign Trade Commission has done. ICE is investing a lot of money to promote artisanal products on dedicated platforms, including Amazon and Alibaba. So there is an evolution towards other tools. Thank you very much. I forgot to tell you that some customers call us directly to sell abroad. I mean, and this is the case of artisanal products. That's our positioning. We tend to sell them in foreign countries. Yes, and we have had also some presentations focusing on this in the past. I've spoken with some entrepreneurs who have gone this way, and I have to say that they really reach their targets. But here we have two entrepreneurs belonging to the Gruppo Giovani Imprenditori. We have Simone Haddad, who has a store in Rome, and I like him. One in Aosta as well. He's very attentive to what is new on the market. So I've asked Vincenzo, and Vincenzo wanted Simone to come here. And Simone and Vincenzo actually are two testimonials that are here to help us understand whether truly the game is worth the candle. So we were talking about this before starting our conference, and I would like you to bring us your experience. So what have you actually done with your company? Well, first of all, thank you very much to all of you. My name is Simone, and I have a store in Rome. We started working with Amazon before the COVID pandemic, a couple of years before the pandemic. We launched a very strong campaign of Google Ads, and an Amazon manager contacted us and asked if we wanted to join the platform. So we were actually invited to join the platform. And they provided us with 1 year of tutoring, so to say. Actually, the tutoring lasted only 1 month, but you are atypical. No, I mean, if things are explained to you, they're relatively easy. But like Lorenzo said, they explain to you how the platform works. The platform is simple, but it is incredibly complex. It is not very well structured. It is like the internet of the 80s. Crazy as it may sound, since we're talking about Amazon. Anyhow, for sellers, it is not easy, but there is an advantage. We have started in Italy. Now we are present all over Europe with points of sale all over Europe. We're ready to open up in Mexico, USA, Turkey, and maybe Singapore. We're not convinced about that, but they're calling us. And not because we are big, but simply because they like to have more and more products. So in my opinion, Amazon is a big opportunity. It is not the evil, it is not the competitor, because retailers are our competitors, independent on whether they sell on Amazon or in their physical stores. But the problem with Amazon is that it is easy money, and sometimes you do not understand that the money that Amazon gives you, if you deduce the ad costs, the Amazon fee that is different from product to product. Well, this does not, well, it means that your profit is not that big. Amazon can also help you sell all what you got in stock, but it is not its purpose to get rid of your stocks. I mean, it is a platform that makes you known all over the world. And people trust Amazon. That's its strength. You buy and you get the money. If you don't like it, you get your money back. And you have to pay for that. Good money, you have to pay for that. So all the data that you showed us are excellent, but things are more complex in our industry because of the margins. And companies are reluctant regarding selling on Amazon. We have worked very, very hard with a company for 1 year, and the year after they put many constraints and we lost our margin. This did not happen only to us. Why? Because 1 month later they went directly on Amazon. I mean, if you've got the structure, you can do that.
Ripeto, grandi
So certainly a lot of opportunities, a big potential, but it's not as easy as it appears. FBA, that is selling after the storage of Amazon, well, you expect that the 100 products are managed in the same way. Because the product is sent with that name, unless you put a label on it, let's say. So all this difficult situation is such that sometimes packages get lost, and so you have to open a case, review everything. Well, in Europe, there have been changes. We had to take a consultant in the UK because, and then tax account in all countries. And then if you deliver from your point of sale, you have to speak the language of the place. So you can't speak Italian if you speak with a French person. Otherwise, that French person will not understand you. So there are some problems. It's not impossible, but you need a lot of work, a lot of commitment. So you can speak at length. Well, I think that the advantage of Amazon is reliability. Probably they could buy also from your site, but you know, the brand is a different thing. So not to be on Amazon is a mistake. And if you are on Amazon, you have to be very accurate and very much focused on the margins. Well, I fully agree with Simone. It's true. That's why we exist, because it is extremely complex. Well, there are two opportunities for me, in my opinion, for the jewelry sector. Well, we discovered that in other sectors. There is also the physical world. So to be present on Amazon helps also the physical side because and I refer to these home fresheners. Well, many people discover that on Amazon, and when they saw that product also in the shop windows, they entered into that shop and bought things. Well, for home fragrances, it's different. For us, it's a bit more complex. Yeah, it was just to say that there are combinations and interconnections between the two channels, the online channel and the offline channel. And then, well, you spoke about big brands. I think that the big opportunity for jewelers is that certainly there are brand products, but many jewelries have their own workshops and they make their own handmade jewels. Well, I think that there is a big opportunity, an extraordinary opportunity. Also, in order to face big brands. Well, I agree with you, but you know, in the case of own production, handmade production, well, our production has a brand behind which is very strong and which is made in Italy. And Amazon has a dedicated section on made in Italy. But, well, to be able to share it and to transfer it, well, that's difficult because we tell stories, we tell the behind-the-scenes stories. Otherwise, it's like being a baker or a bakery. And on Amazon, it's difficult to transfer this notion. So it can certainly be a business opportunity. There are more margins. Yes, certainly. All that is true. But it's a question also of time frame. If I had a 5-year plan as an association, I wouldn't see Amazon as the road to go. Or rather, I wouldn't focus only on Amazon. I would use Amazon in the short term, but meanwhile, I would do something different, going back to jewels in their own nature. Well, I agree. We cannot think that Amazon is a panacea, and it can be the only channel of sale. It should be another channel, but it gives jewelry a possibility of having a multi-channel sort of approach. Do you agree with this idea? You have to try all the roads, all the channels? Yes. I perfectly agree, because as was just said, this is not the only way to go. Jewelry remains the reference, but we need to go on. We need to have a vision. As I also told you the first time that we met, because I had a personal experience. I am a producer, and some years ago, I wanted to understand what was behind Amazon. And as Simone said, it's difficult. I too relied on Amazon logistics, but there are problems with missing packages. Well, it's not so easy. I did that as an experiment because I wanted to understand, and I have a degree in IT. I'm a fan of this world and wanted to understand what is behind Amazon. So alone, to go on Amazon alone without a hand, well, it will be difficult to manage what is behind, but also the post-sale returns, contacts that come from buyers, because there is also the post-sale procedure, which is very difficult. In order to increase your reputation, you have the issue of reports, and so also the post-sale follow-up, let's say, is very important. So the story doesn't end with just giving a package to Amazon. So who are the entrepreneurs? Well, if I wear the shoes of jewelers, well, I would certainly take advantage of this opportunity. Well, I, as a producer, took advantage of the opportunity of ICE with Alibaba. So there are opportunities where ICEA support on finances the procedure on Alibaba. Alibaba is more of a B2B platform, but also there are good opportunities because there was the possibility of getting money to finance the positioning on Alibaba. So we have to look at all the opportunities and look beyond one's own borders, let's say. So a young person who starts to work in the jewelry sector and has gone beyond his own window shop. But this is what you did, and this is what most of people did here. So none of us has the magic ball, but we need to try and understand the future. Lorenzo, I appreciated your talk. So we have to look to the future. And the window shopping is something that we need to promote also online. So tomorrow we will speak about other platforms, but of course we have to rely on professionals because it's like doing things on your own. It's like when in the past you had to create your own website. Well, if you did that alone, you were not so successful. You had to entrust and to go to professionals. Luigi Ascani told us how important it is to go beyond the physical shop window, which of course is a reference for our shops, for our jewelries. Here, there is a good friend from the region of Friuli Venezia Giulia who was able to invent something different, and he spread emotions also online, which can be experienced by everybody, because you see that there are certainly many people who go into shops, but there is also a large percentage of people who have never gone into a jewelry shop. So we need to tell them the story about that jewel, a jewel which is made in Italy, with all its stories, and Amazon can help us. So if there are no other comments.
I absolutely agree with Vincenzo. And let me conclude mentioning an advert that some of you may remember. It was the advert of Tutip at the beginning of the 90s saying, if you don't play, you don't win. Well, I don't know what Amazon is going to be in 5 years. Nobody knows that. But if you don't go there, for sure, you're not going to win. I've seen many customers of mine who, thanks to their work on Amazon, managed to improve their own e-commerce, because Amazon is an expert regarding sales online and has a lot to teach. So my invitation is play. This means trying to win. Yes, play and learn to be on the web, because we know that apart from communication, we have to be able to represent what we want to propose. Photographs are not that easy. That's another difficulty. And I believe Simone was actually meaning this. It is not simple to show the beauty of jewelry through a photograph. So let's use all the different tools we have to increase our presence on the web. Microphone, otherwise we cannot translate the questions. Microphone, please, for the streaming, since we want all the people who are following us to be able to listen to the comment or question. My name is Francesco, father of Manila, another member of the young group. Well, multi-channel is something that can survive if we enlarge. What I mean to say is that our limit is that we are small companies, and small companies do not manage to get together to tackle the issues of all these channels. So that's where I see a limit. We can do everything, but sometimes, like Simone was telling us, a small company may have difficulties in doing this. If we could get together and develop projects together, it might be easier. Well, Emanuele has always thought that if you want something, you can do it. It's you in the back there, isn't it? Emanuele Fontanin from Viano Pordenone. Thank you very much. I wanted to add that I really liked Simone's presentation, because all talks mentioning Amazon neglect to focus on the fees. So it looks as if you sell on Amazon just like you would sell in a store, but the Amazon fee is significant, 20%. in some cases. And as Lorenzo was telling us, if you want to be visible on Amazon, you have to pay money. You have to have an agency. And if your price to consumer is the one you usually ask for, it is a little bit difficult to sell. You may have to offer a discount. So what about the margins? And which is the limit between selling and dumping our product? Personally, I belong to OER Italy, and when we post something on Amazon, I mean, at the beginning I realized that things were not working well, and we have increased the price. So Amazon has a higher price. I know that Lorenzo actually wanted to tell us something about price. You're absolutely right. I didn't mention the price issue, but one of the difficult things at Amazon is make ends meet. And there are two channels. You can either sell your own product or you can sell third-party products. Most of us sell branded products. Sure. So the Amazon pricing is a surprise. In general, actors in every field tend to think that if you want to sell on Amazon, you have to lower the price. Well, all the brands we work with make a greater profit when selling on the Amazon than when selling in their own stores or their own e-commerce. Pricing is a variable that you have to manage in a certain way. So you can sell at a higher price on Amazon compared to other channels. And this is related, number one, with the users on Amazon, so that Amazon is no longer a point of sale for users. It is a logistical point. People are happy to pay a price to sit down at home and have their TV delivered. Until a short time ago, they were not willing to pay for this extra price. But apart from this, you have to construct your pricing on Amazon. And you have to do that in such a way that you go beyond the idea that the cheapest product sells. And Amazon has actually persuaded all the buyers that whatever you want to buy, you can find it at a cheaper cost on Amazon, cheaper price. But on average, 50% of the products you buy on Amazon could be bought at a smaller price on Amazon, the very same product. So it just depends on how you manage the machinery. Well, most people look for a product and then they look at the cheapest price. So we have tried, and one of the reasons with OER Italy, we wanted to reduce our stocks like everybody else. Right, it's like giving your car to another person. When you decided to do this with the OER Italy, would you give your car to somebody else? Marco? Thank you. Or maybe I've missed the first part of the talk and you have already said this before. Anyhow, the problem of returns. If I sell, I'm already on Amazon and I sell small watches and accessories, nothing particularly expensive or important.
Well, Well, I do not want to go to Amazon with higher price products, because let's make the example of the carrot diamond. I certify it, so the buyers has all the guarantees, but who protects me from frauds with the return policy of Amazon? So if I sell it to America and that is returned, and perhaps the same ring comes back with a brick in the pack, or a ring with a zirconium. So how can I demonstrate to Amazon that I've been cheated, and that it was not a zircon when I sold that at the beginning? So, well, 90% of the cases you lost it.
Nostro incontro, perché il nostro è un settore.
Well, that's a topic that we already tackled. We can sell a list of products which can be also returned. So there is a wide range of products that we have within our activity. Marco sells middle to low range watches. But then there are also handmade or artisan products, and they can find a place on that platform, because your platform, as you said, is targeted to a certain type of market as compared to others. So, look, Marco, this is one of the first topics that I focused on, because there is this issue of the substitution of the replacement, which is easy to make. I wear it during a gala dinner and then I give it back. We see that in the apparel market, in the fashion market. Well, it's a very significant topic, and I'm not prepared to answer. Well, we have the same problem with luxury products. You know that there is a specific Amazon luxury platform where luxury products are sold. It's upon invitation, and that platform was set up right for the reason that you explained. Well, luxury operators didn't want to go to Amazon, not for reasons of image, but right for your for the question that you said. You sell a Fendi bag, and then you have a return which is not a Fendi bag. Well, all the producers got together and they made a movement against Amazon, and Amazon applied some guarantees. Amazon Luxury sells only to customers who have been invited by Amazon. So Amazon guarantees the company as they're all quality products, so operators are selected, and Amazon covers possible damages, returns, etc. I believe that you should get together. Yeah, I agree. We have been invited to sort of get united and make a sort of a team. Yeah, but we wanted to listen to your opinion because you are an expert. Yeah, I can go to Amazon and say, okay, I've got 20 operators who want to extend their catalog. And Amazon is very sensitive. And at that point, we can start a discussion. So I'll tell you what we did in similar sectors. The operators got to the platform. They put a part of the catalog, what Simone does and what other operators do, where I will not say the high-priced diamond. And so when all the operators are present, we knock on Amazon's door and we say, okay, we have 30 operators who are already present and who would like to extend their catalog, but they do not do that because of your policy. So at that point, we could, for example, include your category within the luxury platform where diamonds will be certainly accepted. Well, the problem in Italy is to unite all the people. At Confcommercio with Fabio, we spoke about that. Very often in Italy, stakeholders go on their own because it would be important to have a team. And we should unite, for example, and call together 30 stakeholders. So you have to start the game before winning, because if you don't play, you can't win. So don't send the diamond today. But as you said, you're just one person. We can put 30 people together, we knock on the door, and we can negotiate category conditions. And Federpreziosi can be a player. As Marcello Perri did, they got together in a consortium to launch some projects. So here we have two colleagues, Sonia Baio and the other colleague, who are representatives of their associations. And they believe that unity increases the strength. Absolutely. This is a task of young entrepreneurs of Federpreziosi. Okay, please start this game. Well, what you do is perfect. Start with some products so that Amazon sees that, and then we put together 30 stakeholders and we knock on the door, because Amazon is very sensitive when it sees business opportunities for itself. Okay, thank you so much. Many thanks to the team. Many thanks to Daniele and Paola for supporting us. Good business to everybody. Thank you.